money or you lost, the key is that you learned from your trades. We're going to stick to that strategy here on this channel, and it will help you in the long run. The key to this is the details. Stay watching the details when you're taking trades or you're just watching the market. Know why you took the trade, know why you exited the trade. Okay, let's get into it. So everybody kept on saying stimulus this, stimulus that, stimulus we're coming out to agree, and this person is gonna sign the bill, this person is not gonna sign the bill, back and forth. If you were on Twitter, you would have seen, oh my god, the people, what they were talking about. It was ridiculous, going back and forth, like literally, or either pumping or not pumping or just staying on the side. But a lot of them yesterday were just pumping, pumping, pumping to the banks, and the banks knew what was going on. And then look at that, boom. Anyways, I'm gonna show you. I called out in the morning. I didn't, call out a trade yesterday, early in the morning. This was a day ago. I just put this, how to execute, an XAUUSD short position. These are the key 7 steps. I'm going to say it. I've been saying it in my videos. Look at the 1 hour chart. Spot high volume in supply zones. You look at 5-minute chart and you look for a no demand candle. Wait for a confirmation. Place a mental stop loss, not a physical stop loss, as long as you're near the charts. And then you look for take profit in demand zones. And then after that, I called this out later on. This was after this push, and I'll show you what was happening before, and we'll go from there. So let's get into it. So this is what we've seen. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of this, and let's watch and see what it is. So let's go to the 4-hour chart, and look, we had this downtrend. It's been going on since August. So you can see a lot of retail traders bought this, bought this, bought this, bought this, and kept on buying. I'm going to show you why the 1 hour chart is saying don't buy. I mean, you could have bought when you're on this trend right here, this downtrend right here, and, with confirmation, something like this, with this kind of long, high volume bar, waiting for a confirmation candle to get in. It's not a problem. But then the key is don't take trade out based off of breaks. I can't stress this enough. You're gonna get wrecked. I have no problem taking small little trades. You could have bought this and took small trades with a tight stop loss. But a lot of traders, these retail traders, are looking for bigger moves because of the fact that this broke out this trend. And volume does not indicate to be buying. You can see right here, this was early in the morning, and around 6 o'clock started to increase to the upside. Volume started to increase as we went down a little bit, okay, and then you had this. This is all based off of news. This is all news trading right here. People are buying because of the news, so-called. They're coming out with a stimulus package. So what's that gonna happen to gold? Gold's gonna make it rise for temporary, and it rose. But to me personally, this looks a lot like selling, especially when we got to this candle right here. Look at this high volume candle selling, and you get this right here. Look at that push right there down, selling. No matter what, this is selling. Look at this indication of high volume for this day, and look at the candle reaction. The most key thing is reaction. Look for reaction. Oh, look at that. Let's go look at the 5-minute and see what it is we are talking about in details. You had the spike right here. This was the news, spiked up, and couldn't break above. I mean, couldn't close above. So the reaction is, I'm gonna look to short. Couldn't find it. Did not happen. Kept on rising. Kept on rising. And then we had this right here. This candle right here. The problem is we didn't get a confirmation. And this is another key indicator for people to realize. When you have a no demand, that does not mean just because it formed and then it broke below it. Like for example right here, that means it's valid to enter the trade. No, it no longer is a no demand when the next candle after that closes above it. You have to wait for the next one after that. So if you get something like this, this is a no demand right here because you had low volume from the previous two, the lower, and then you had this candle form right here. The problem is the next candle did not go lower. You cannot have any of the candles after that break above. Close above. Key is the close. We always talk about this. The key is the close of the 5 minute. So it's an invalid position to enter. And then it kept on rising. And then, so let's look back. When we broke this area right here, all of this right here. The problem is with this is right here is now they're coming into a supply zone. You can look at it right here. There's supply right here. So there's going to be shorting. There's going to be selling because of this big drop right here. And it didn't happen. Still 1924. We're at 1924. Still didn't happen. It should have happened here, but it didn't happen because of the news. Kept on rising. We kept on seeing. We came up to 1930. We came up to 1930. And how convenient and how coincidence that all of this volume starts to kick in right here as we rise up to right here. Look at that right there. That's a lot of volume. Reaction is not good, so it's not a valid trade. And then all of a sudden, we keep rising up. Volume keeps kicking in. And then you get this no demand right here. They couldn't get higher prices. They could not get any higher prices right there. No demand. This is a valid no demand with a confirmation. Let's get a nice zoom in on that. We have no demand. Call this out right here. You can see. Called it out once it was happening. And let's look back. And then we had confirmation right there. Push down. Clear as day. The thing is high volume came in. This is why we had this reaction to the upside. And then it happened again. And we kept on coming. We had coming right there. We had another no demand. I also called it out with that picture on Instagram. And you can see confirmation came in here for a short. And we stayed flat until basically right here. Had a push down for the end of the day. And then they tanked today. So I wanted to show you guys how these big boys like to, manipulate things into letting retail traders come in, because a lot of people on social media were talking about it broke that channel that was right here. It broke this channel. It's a nice buy and this and that, and nobody realized that all of that stuff was just hype and there was no stimulus deal happening except the banks knew about it. It was such a coincidence that all of a sudden, I forget which, maybe one of the major banks. I'm not gonna say who it is because I forgot which one it was. One of the top 5 major banks, institutions said it, and it basically called out exactly around this time right here. Said, "Oh, we are not. We're more than certain that we will not get a deal before the election for stimulus." How coincidence that they called this out right here. Oh, what such a coincidence. And then you had this drop off. So please don't listen to news. Just watch the charts. It'll tell you everything. Tell you in details how these guys are gonna start to talk and everything like that. So, but yeah, that was a nice valid trade. You could have entered right here. You could have entered again right here with a stop loss above here, and your target. Again, we target demand zones for when you short. So you target a demand zone. So if you go to the 1 hour and you look, your first target would have been in this area because of the fact that we broke this. Would have been right here. This is your first target. But the main target you would have wanted to look for was this area right here. This is your main target because of the fact that the high volume came in right here. So this is demand. This is a demand zone right there. You can see, as you can see today in the morning, what happened. Seen this high volume with a reaction, and this is how we're trading right now as of today. My last thing I want to say, I'm going to try to be doing a how-to video, more in-depth details exactly on specific things that I do. I already did a video on volume bars and what's the importance of them. My next video I will do, it's either going to be on no demand and supply candles and exactly how to spot them and the little details behind them and what's the importance behind them, or on Fibonacci. Again, this is ATN. Peace out. Please subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe so I can keep making more of these videos. Peace out.